magic of books. I thought there was something wrong with me. My older sister was a big reader. She could go to the library, check out 7 books, and finish them seemingly all in one night. My mom couldn't understand why I didn't show any interest in books. I admit, I was a little scared of those big words I didn't know. I would get frustrated trying to read them on my own. I didn't want anyone else to hear me struggle. My mom kept bringing me the easy reader books, but the plots were so simple, I was convinced that reading wasn't for me. Everything changed when my grandparents came to visit one winter. My poppy loves to read, and his favorite thing to do with his grandkids is to take us to the bookstore and let us pick out a book. I started off, as in previous visits, to the sticker book section, but my poppy told me that this time he wanted me to choose a chapter book. All the excitement quickly drained out of me. He led me over to the section with the chapter books and left me there. I looked at shelves and shelves of books, big ones, small ones, thick ones, and skinny ones. I was amazed and a little depressed because I thought I couldn't read them. One row of books, however, caught my eye. The Harry Potter books, written by J.K. Rowling. My family had just been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter amusement park at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, because my sister loves the Harry Potter series. I had enjoyed the rides, but the characters were unfamiliar to me. I thought, as I pulled book 1 out of 7 off the shelf. Maybe I could try to read this. I looked at the colorful cover. The book seemed so big. I sat down right there on the floor in the middle of the bookstore, started doing what I thought I couldn't do very well. I read and read, and by the time my poppy came to find me, I was already on chapter 3. The reading came easier than I thought. And instead of being frustrated about the big words, I started to view them as challenges. If I couldn't figure out a word, I didn't care. I just kept going because I wanted to see what happened to Harry next. My discovery of Harry Potter has opened up a new world where I wasn't bullied by my older siblings or disappointing my parents. It was a world in which I would soon become very comfortable. As soon as I opened the book, I knew it was the right one for me. In the story, a boy whose parents were killed by an evil wizard. He now has to live with his only living relatives who treat him like dirt. I spent the whole night reading. Harry Potter was accepted into a wizard school and discovered he was famous for something he barely remembers. I fell in love with the characters in Harry Potter series. I learned more and more about Harry and his friends in the later books. They became my friends. I had suddenly become a reader like my sister. I read Harry Potter during all my free time, and I didn't stop until I finished all 7 books. As the books became harder to read, I became a better reader. When I finished the series, I started over and reread all 7 books again. Sometimes, when my eyes would hurt, I would have my mom get the audio version of the books from the library, and I would listen to them. All I could think about were the witches and wizards at Hogwarts. I would walk around my house with my homemade wand and perform jinxes and hexes on my family. I put up a sign on my door to my bedroom saying, "Wizards only, but beyond this point." At school, I became friends with some kids who really liked Harry Potter. We dueled with our wands at recess. They all had our own Harry Potter names. Mine was my favorite character, Ginny Weasley, and my teacher started calling me Ginny. She even allowed me to write Ginny on my papers. I felt sorry for the kids in my school who said they didn't need to read the Harry Potter books because they had seen the movies. I knew I convinced at least a few kids that the books were worth reading. I wrote my own fan fiction, a story where you use the author's setting, but you make up your own plot and characters. I made up the character Haley Potter, Harry Potter's younger sister. She may not have a scar on her forehead, like Harry, but she is a brave and courageous witch. On my 9th birthday, my sister put together a Harry Potter birthday party for me. We had floating candles, chocolate frogs, and potions class. We even played a Muggle version of Quidditch. My mom dressed up as Professor McGonagall, and my dad dressed up as Professor Dumbledore. I really felt for a few hours like I was a student at Hogwarts. Now my parents are reading the series. My mom says she doesn't know what I'm saying half the time, and that the only way to understand me is to read the books. She is almost 6, and she really likes them, and my dad just finished the series, and he and I are watching the movies together. My parents are even taking the family to London over spring break to visit the studios where the movies were filmed. It is great that my parents are trying to enter my world, but they will never believe it like I do. More than anything, I wish I could go to Hogwarts and learn witchcraft and wizardry. In J.K. Rowling's books, when witches and wizards turn 11, they get a Hogwarts acceptance letter. This is how they know they are a witch or wizard. When my sister's 11th birthday passed, and she didn't get a letter, I was a little disappointed, but I didn't think she was a witch anyway. But me, I'm a different story. I will get a letter. I just know it, because I believe. I believe that the world of magic actually exists. I am Jewish, so I don't believe in Santa Claus, and my mom may or may not be the Tooth Fairy, but I do believe in Hogwarts school, and wizards and broomsticks and owls and wands. After more than a year of only reading Harry Potter books over and over again, I've moved on to other books like The Land of Stories and Guardians of Gahul series and the Lemony Snicket books. I was happy to find that I liked reading those other series. I can now say that I like to read books, thanks to J.K. Rowling. But I don't think any other books I will read will ever match Harry Potter. I will write to you from Hogwarts.